You look around and settle down. The seat you chose has sealed your fate. To your left, the kind of guy that when you ask him for a pen, he gives you 3. When you ask him for advice, it's always free. You don't have to worry about judgment or hurt because he will always be there. To your right, the kind of guy with his jacket zipped all the way up, hood on, concealed headphones used to shut out the world. You make a mental note never to turn to your right, but the teacher's assigning group project and you two are the only ones left. Hi, my name is Death, he says to you with a sarcastic smile that would soon become familiar. It's the middle of grade 10. Your GPA is plummeting into an abyss. No one can possibly handle all of this. The constant battle of picking between your social life, academic life, insanity, sacrificing your mental health for responsibility. It's grade 11 when you think about him for the first time in a different light. You try so hard but are losing the will to fight. The thought creeps into your mind and expands, reaching every neuron, causing chaos and confusion, and you find yourself wondering, what if? What if he was the answer to filling this void? What if he was the way to escape this twisted reality? As if somehow, some way, his perfect antithesis of positivity was the way to find it. We see Death from across the street and we give a small wave. There's something about him that this generation seems to crave. And I wish I could say that I'm not just as guilty, but the simple truth is it's become our reality. We don't look both ways as we cross the street. We don't stop and think before we retweet the clever memes that creatively articulate the truth behind our depression. It's easy to hide behind a screen. It's easy not to take responsibility for what they mean. 40,000 retweets for one tweet about dying. And the scary thing is that people have stopped trying to reach out to one another. Somewhere along the way, it's become a bother. I see Death from across the street, and as he makes his way over, he's not carrying a rabbit's foot nor a 4-leaf clover. No, instead, he carries a brooding darkness with a type of bad that makes your dad wake up in cold sweats, breathing a sigh of relief that you didn't actually bring him home for the holidays. But you did. The truth is, you've been dancing with death since the day you learned to dance. You've been flirting with death since the day you could look in a mirror and recognize that it was your own reflection. You went to winter formal with death. You visited museums with death. You shared a funnel cake at the OC Fair with death. Yet, you don't know death. Because if you knew death, you wouldn't talk about him the way that you do, whitewashing his toxic habits, counting them as negligible. But this negligence is the reason he's got you wrapped around your finger. You forgot to take care of yourself. You let him in long enough to get you under his spell, and now he's got you locked in his personal hell. You don't see death for who he is, but rather for whom he wants you to see. He doesn't open doors for you. He's never asked your opinion on what to do. He doesn't fill your room with sunflowers. No, he'd rather be playing video games for hours. Loving death makes you forget why you try every day. He makes the things that once made you smile seem monotonous. He points out your imperfections and makes you feel insecure. He doesn't notice when you do your hair, so why bother? Death is not a nice guy. So the next time your finger hovers over that small looping arrow, keep scrolling. And the next time you cross the street, look both ways. Because life is too beautiful to miss out on the view around us, and life is too important to spend it pondering death. So do yourself a favor and pick the nice guy. It's the first day of grade 12. You look around at your peers, feeling like you finally made it amidst all your fears. You persevered. Now, it may have taken you some time to figure it out, but you now know that life is wonderful. And don't you ever doubt. Thank you.